We're joined now by ESPN's Mike Reiss. Mike, great to have you back once again. Great to speak with you. Let's get right to the gist of it. Christian Gonzalez is at the forefront of everything this week. What's the latest on him and your thoughts?
So, well, has not practiced, as we heard, from Nikki G, and this goes back to July 28th, Dan, when he's covering Stefon Diggs on a short crossing route in training camp, and he sort of pulls up and holds the back of his left leg. And at the time, Dan, I was thinking back to Randy Moss in 2007. He had something similar happen. They shut him down because they knew he'd be ready for the opener. The fact that Gonzalez hasn't been back to practice even this week really threatens his availability for this game and going forward. So it has not gone the way I thought it was going to go, and honestly the way I think they thought, and even Christian thought it would go. Things don't always heal in the timeline that you hope it will.
The first injury report is out tonight, and he's listed as did not practice. He's the really only one on that. Now, when it comes to him, is there any way between now and Sunday you think, Mike, that he can get ready and be ready to play in this game?
I think it would be unlikely, Dan, and if he is, it would be in a very niche role. I mean, there's also football conditioning that you have to get back to, So I think if he were to, let's say, turn the corner and we see him tomorrow, and then the next day, maybe you play him for a couple series or two or in a specific package.
If he's out, throw us the names to expect to see taking his place.
Alex Austin would be the player that I think projects to start in his place. They nickname him Double A for the initials.
Creative.
Alex Austin. Marcus Jones in the slot could also play out there. So those are the two guys. And then DJ James. Dan, you and me, we talked about that during the preseason. He sort of flashed early in training camp and then made the team, and he'd be another guy at that cornerback.
Watched a veteran quarterback, Geno Smith, attack that if that indeed is the case without Christian Gonzalez. All right, let's move to the offensive side of the ball. Stefon Diggs did not have many media sessions in Foxborough this summer. Today, he said he was laying low while he worked his way back from knee surgery. If anyone thinks he won't be happy here unless they feed him the ball over and over, well, think again.
We got a lot of weapons. Like, for me, I'm not going in there man, I need nah, it's not that kind of party. I feel like we got a lot of guys that can make plays at a high level, and what I'm accustomed to doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just, it is what it is. At this point in my career, obviously, I'm excited just to get out there and then just put more pressure on, make the most of your opportunities. I had talked to my receiver coach, Coach Todd, eat what's on your plate. If everybody got some plays here and there or whatever you got, if you got this many targets or that many targets, eat what's on your plate. And that's what's important to me at this point. And, squeezing that lemon and making fruit punch, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. I like that. All right, Mike, I go back to, minicamp in June. I thought he looked good then, right? And there's been no, signs of stopping or anything else. He looks like he's ready to go.
Well, he also, we know we have something in common with him. We're going to eat what's on our plate. We love to do that, right, Dan? You and me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I love this guy, Dan. I love the way he runs routes. I love the way he practices. I love what Drake Maye said about him. You heard, he said he elevated this week with a game coming. This guy knows what he's doing, Dan. He is an alpha. I think they needed a guy like this. And I think he's a tone setter. I think in the red zone, he knows how to find the open spaces. I am very excited to watch him play because I think he runs routes at a level that we haven't seen in New England for a long, long time.
We talked about Geno Smith attacking with weakness. How about when it comes to Drake Maye? How often do you think he'll go to Diggs early on in this one?
So I think he'll go to him often. I mean, because when you think about who's going to be out on the field, to me, Dan, it's Stefon Diggs, and then Kayshon Boutte will be on the other side.
Yep.
Right? And then Pop Douglas in the slot. So I think just by virtue of who's on the field, I think Diggs will be probably his first read a lot of times. Of course, that always depends what the defense does, right? He's not going to force it to him, but I think if it's there, he's going to want to go to him to establish that.
Because they did not play in preseason games together, do you think there'll be any rust in that relationship?
I do, and I think that's normal. I think there's going to be rust across the field, Dan. That's why the opening week is always the most unpredictable of all of them.
Yeah. All right, the rest of the wide receiver core, you good with them? Are we going to see Chisholm at all?
So you love Afton Chisholm. So I'd be surprised. I think he's the sixth guy right now, Dan. And when we were out at practice, he was wearing a different jersey number than his regular jersey, which told me he was working on the scout team. He was wearing number 1 for one of the Raiders receivers, Trey Tucker, who wears that out in Las Vegas. So I think when I saw that, it made me think Chisholm might not even be active for the game.
All right, so there you have it. A good fantasy play this week. How about Stefon Diggs?